Hello.
Well, hello there. I got my hair cut.
Oh, yeah.
It's shorter than I wanted.
Yes.
But they've done a fade, so it hopefully then will grow equally as opposed to...
Every how long you go to...
Like 4 months.
Every 4 months.
I let my hair...
3 times a year.
Yeah. I let my hair become disgusting, and then I cut it.
Believe it or not, I cut my hair every week. Because I want to keep it like this size.
Yeah. I mean, all I will say is, on Saturday when I was here celebrating my birthday drinks, I received a text from my dad that just said, "What the hell have you done to your hair?" I was like, "Oh, thank you, father." My parents are of the traditional opinion that the hair should not be too short. I'm like, I didn't do this. I just sat there like... it always happens the same. I'm sitting there.
Yeah, because it reminds the German part of the family, right?
Short hair! And I was there, and he was like, "Is this okay?" And by that stage, you're like, well, but it's too late now.
It reminds you of harder times.
I only ever have hard times. Anyway, fortunately, I'm a bit better now, so I can smell things, which is good.
Well, we are gonna drink the last bottle of the box.
The May box. And we're finishing on the last day of May, which is very emotional. And what a way to go.
Yes! This is...
Prados Colección.
This is a very special wine. First of all, because we love Prados Winery. We have been working with this winery since the very beginning.
We have been.
Not this wine. Other wines they work.
4 or 5 years ago, I actually went to a wine event in a shop called Vino Premier about these wines.
Oh, really?
So I always knew about them. But yeah.
Obviously, you didn't learn anything that day.
No, absolutely nothing at all.
But we have been very proud to work with this winery all this time, and we chose one of their special wines for this May box, and that is Prados Colección Garnacha.
Let's get it into the glasses.
Less body than I thought.
Lighter than I thought. And we'll tell you why it's lighter than we thought in a minute. Well, first things first. Cheers.
Cheers.
To the end of May.
Ooh.
There's the presents.
That is aromatic.
Ooh. That's nice. Boom.
Oh. Boom.
Oh, why have you done that?
Sorry.
Right. So yes. What the hell? Before we explain what the hell that was, there's 2 options. Either we explain everything now, or we leave it and then later we tell them.
Okay, well, we have to advance. We are gonna drink a Campo de Borja wine. Is this the first?
I think it's the first Campo de Borja wine in our boxes on the online YouTube.
And Campo de Borja takes its name from the town Borja, and Borja was nailed in the maps a few years ago when Teresa.
Well, I've got show you the original, the Antes.
Okay,
I've got the Antes there,
yes.
which is a beautiful old piece of art. Oh wow, what an amazing.
So we had this Teresa, this woman living in this town.
That's not the
this
woman.
Borja.
Right?
That's not the woman.
That's Jesus.
She restored this painting of Jesus called Ecce Homo.
A little bit faded, I suppose. A little bit faded.
It needed a good restoration.
Yeah, it needed a good one, is the key. But it did not get a good one.
And that was happened.
It's like a crazy monkey.
I know that probably people of Borja is super tired of this funny story.
Right, well, I went there.
And I'm pretty sure in Prados Winery, they are not very happy linking them with this story.
I'm sure.
But we want you to make this connection because you will never forget this wine, Borja, and this moment.
I went there. I told you I went there.
You went there. You took a picture of.
Took a picture. It's one of the best one of the best things I've ever done in Spain. Genuinely, I was so happy. And they've got a gift shop. The churches, they're smart. They're making money off it. You can buy a mug.
I would do it.
Yeah, you can buy a...
You could do it.
I have done it. I'm going around villages and restoring paintings in a bad way. Anyway, well, let's do our tasting sheet before we forget.
So, name of the wine?
Prados Colección Garnacha, because
Prados Colección Garnacha, which actually is here.
Because they have some Syrah as well.
This
This
is much
their
better
Garnacha, 100%.
than that. Just showing your terrible fat hand is scaring our audience. One day we will be banned from YouTube
There'll be screams,
because of your hand.
Screams across the internet that day of May.
So this is the wine.
It's a cool label.
Vintage
2018.
2018. Grapes, Garnacha, 100%.
100%, baby.
Alcohol content.
So, Jesus. The reason we are singing from the rafters is because this new vintage... 16%. It's 16 goddamn percent.
Yes, and I feel closer to God.
I feel closer to...
16%.
Yeah. This is, I think...
Is that the maximum? Naturally?
I have seen in
wine
Spain, I have seen a 16 and a half.
16 and a half.
If I remember...
Were you too drunk for remember?
No, I'm always too drunk to remember. But if I remember correctly, I think it was 1 or 2 vintages ago of the Juan Gil Blue label, I think was 16 and a half.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, very high alcohol wine.
Well, name of the winery, Prados del Moncayo.
Moncayo.
And
Moncayo is
the region Campo de Borja.
The nickname, by the way, of Campo de Borja is El Imperio de Garnacha, the Empire of Garnacha. Because it's most of their wine.
Actually, it is an autochthonous grape from there.
Well, they always say that. No, it is.
It is true.
It's an Aragon grape, and you find it all over, but really Campo de Borja, it's like wall-to-wall Garnacha, and sometimes some Syrah.
Yeah, and it conquered the world with the kingdom of Aragon.
Yep. Everyone's favourite kingdom.
Yes.
Well, Navarre, anyway.
Well, let's start analyzing the color.
Well, yeah, so like...
A little bit less body than I thought,
But I
but
suppose
it's still that... Can
this-
you let me finish?
You're just non-stop chatting crap today, aren't you?
Cherry color,
Okay.
garnet rim.
You've got a garnet rim. Not as dark as we thought, but then Garnacha is not necessarily a dark grape. It's fairly thin-skinned, high sugar.
Well, that's a good question. That's a super good question. Why is Garnacha sometimes is darker than your soul, and sometimes is lighter as mine?
Okay, so many things to talk about there. First of all, your soul is not light at all.
Yeah, it's not.
I think really it's a question of maceration.
I'm a pervert.
Yes, you are. So if you take the choice to macerate pre-fermentation, maybe post-fermentation, you can get more colour out, but that doesn't have anything to do with alcohol level. Alcohol level is sugar. So in this area, I mean, Roque will talk about Campo de Borja later, but it's very hot, and Garnacha is a high sugar grape, so that gives you a lot of booze, not necessarily colour. So Garnacha doesn't have thick skins in general, but if you macerate for longer, you can get that depth. So we have Godina, which is a wine from Campo de Borja from another producer. It's quite a bit darker.
Yeah.
But that's the choice.
And we tried in one of the boxes particular.
Yeah, but that wasn't too dark either.
But it was darker.
It's a bit darker.
It was darker.
This is both the lightest and the most alcoholic. It's a very deceptive wine. You give this to somebody, and they, it's a nice light wine, and you're like, okay. Okay. Anyway, let's have a smell. Spicy, dusty.
I like it. It's very aromatic. It's very expressive. Actually, it's one of the
Plums.
one of those wines that opens your
Chakras.
nose. Yeah, the sweet spices, chocolate, red fruit.
Loads of plums and cherries. Loads of them.
It reminds me those
Bit of vanilla.
those Italian liqueurs with cherries inside. What's the name of maraschino? What's the name
Maraschino cherries.
Yeah.
Mr. Fancy Pants over here with his maraschino cherries. And there's a bit of vanilla. So this wine has spent 10 months in American oak, which is a sweeter oak. But it's very, very pleasant, and it's very, very aromatic. Tasty taste.
It's very structured. It is warm. It's toasty.
Very long finish. Really juicy.
Ripe tannins.
Yeah. They're right. They are right. They're not
spicy.
They're not. Remember when we had the Balantinas? I think it was 2 wines ago, maybe. When I was completely when I couldn't smell anything, but the tannins of Balantinas were grippy. These are riper and smoother tannins.
Yeah, and it has all the canonical characteristics of what Garnacha should be. I mean, it's a classic Garnacha.
Yeah, it is.
If you need to explain someone what a Garnacha is, this would be a nice example.
It's got a nice bit of sweet fruit on the palate as well. It's not a sweet wine, but it really tastes ripe and fruity. Very impressive. And it's only, what, 12 euros?
Yeah, that's the good thing.
That's very impressive.
It is a very, very affordable wine, and it's an excellent ratio quality price. Excellent value.
Madrid and Daracot, kings of good value wine since 2018.
Which is actually true.
It is true. My God damn it.
So, pairing this wine.
Meat, I would say. But this would be lovely with a hamburger.
And a nice tortilla de patatas.
I mean, everything goes with tortilla de patatas. Or maybe I should say tortilla de patatas.
Nice cheese. Mature cheese. Tasty cheese.
Yeah, I think this would be nice with chili con carne as well.
Yeah. And now we have someone walking around. And that person is right next to us.
Temperature?
17?
17. These guys say 14 on the back.
14? That cold?
Idiots! No.
Oh my God! 14.
I mean, maybe because it's not too heavy. Maybe they think they can...
14.
Look, man, they say temperature of service 14. As if it was a Pinot Noir.
I find 14 very...
Controversy at the end of May.
I find it too cold, 14. I think you miss aspects of the wine.
Maybe because my
I mean, the colder, the easier to drink.
Maybe because
regarding the alcohol, but
yeah,
that's all.
But 15,
I'm not scared of alcohol.
16, 17. But I mean, our wine today isn't very cold because we thought ours is about 17. But you know.
Well, I would try with 14, yes, one day. I would try.
I'd try it. I mean, I would always try.
I could try with pleasure this wine again.
You're out of control today. Big glass, everybody.
So,
Big glass for the aromas.
Big glass, I know, big glass. What else you want me to add?
Big glass!
Big.
So, should we mention the winery?
Yes.
We have a photo of the guys in charge. So this is obviously... Well, no,
When you mean the guys, you mean these guys?
These guys. So on the left, we have
Jamie and Simon.
Jamie and Simon. Recently, like two Californians. So on the guy on the left is Pedro Aybar, and the original family who set this up in 2006 was the Aybar family. So they're Spanish. In 2012, the winery got really a big sort of impulse and really kind of jumped ahead as regards sort of technique and quality when the guy on the right, the guy with the glasses, joined. He's called Luis Gernat, and his wife Eugenie van Eckeris. They're Dutch, and they brought their winery knowledge to the winery. The Dutch team, they specialize in Garnacha anyway, so it's kind of like they have a website called a company called Axial Wines, all about mastering the Garnacha.
The Garnacha boys.
Hey, they call us the Garnacha boys. The winery, I think we have a photo of the winery as well. The winery is quite a modern, sort of minimalist kind of building. What is cool is these guys, all of their winemaking is sustainable. We'll talk more about this later, but if you have the bottle, you will see on the back there is a sign that says Pro Wine. But you see this winery here, it's quite diminutive. It's not a huge, enormous one. There's not actually many photos of it, as you can see. My resolution is not very good on this one.
Yeah.
But it's it's fully sustainable. This is their bodega. Isn't that amazing? That's their vineyards.
Beautiful.
Like
it. This, and then this.
Okay.
And then this.
Okay, start with the photos for a second. Okay.
And then this again. And then this. You know what?
If there's anyone still listening, so this winery is sustainable. The winery, the physical building, which was 15 photos ago now, it's all solar powered. The winery is not even connected to the main electricity supply. So there's no electricity that they're sapping off. It's all generated there and then. The winery also...
Why do you need electricity in a winery?
Because you have like internet and computers, and you have technology.
You need computers for making wine.
Control.
You need.
You got to watch Pornhub somewhere.
While you wait.
When you wait, you've got computer-controlled fermentation tanks, which they don't use. They have everything climate-controlled.
So everything is super classic style.
Yeah, but not like
traditional.
Weird, yes, so it's not. It could sound like some weird hippie stuff, but these are not. Like, these are just sustainable, and they're going back to the roots. They climate control using natural ventilation. One of my favorite things, now if you have this bottle in front of you, you might turn it around and you might see pisadas con nuestros propios pies.
I have to tell you, the images you are going to see right now
might put you off your lunch.
may impress you.
Oh, baby. Quentin Tarantino would love that stuff. He's a foot fetishist.
How many people has spill out all the wines all over the TVs?
You might notice the aromas of feet in this wine. So, this wine is foot crushed or foot pressed. I think we have another photo as well from a different angle, but maybe not. Did I find another one? Maybe I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah, that one there.
Yeah.
That's you can get more of an idea of the barrel there and how it's all moved. So if you could just leave that photo there for a moment, I need to talk about feet.
Okay.
Because this is the first wine that I've seen in Spain that actively says on the back label, this wine is made with foot crushed grapes. Now, why the hell are we doing this? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Oh, look at that, right in the middle of the feet. Oh, good. There's a couple of reasons you might do it. Now, a big one is, as Roque said the magic word, tradition. In the old days, before mechanical presses and stuff, you just stomped on your grapes. So a lot of wineries probably do this, or not all of this, but some of their wines they might do it. It's just a nice tradition. A lot of the time you would get the local villagers to come in and help, and it would be like a party almost. They still do this sometimes in Porto to make port wine, and you have like stained legs for weeks. It's a lot of work. So maybe part of it is the fun and the tradition, because you don't need to do it because we have machines, right? The good thing about this is human weight and the pressure that is exerted by the foot is strong enough to break the grapes, of course, but it's gentle and soft enough not to crush the seeds. And the seeds, grape seeds, will have these bitter oils in. So it's actually, the foot is a perfectly designed wine crushing tool. It's just a lot more effort and a lot more work. So most people choose not to do it. That looks more like an artistic photo, that one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The first, but anyway, it's this sort of constant, how can we say, constant contact as well. If I have a tank and I push I put my crushed grapes in there, with time, the force of the fermentation, the releasing carbon dioxide, releasing gases and stuff, will push it up through. Which is fine, because you can punch it down again and mix it all up. But you're always going to get more kind of contact constantly with this foot method, basically, because it's constantly going to be in contact with the skins more equally with the liquid. So all this means is it's going to give you a more full, maybe elegant, macerated wine. Do you need to do it? No, not really. But, it is sort of part of the, how would we put, the tradition of winemaking which Prados del Moncayo want to keep alive. So yeah, also just to add in, as well as the feet, it's all hand-picked, the wines here. The wines are unfiltered here as well. So this is not a wine which is gunning for the whole, we're an organic wine, we're a biodynamic wine, yada yada yada. But it's a traditionally made, and as we will mention later, sustainable wine. And seen.
It is really good.
Does it smell of feet?
Yeah. Classic question. Classic questions. We have had this question tons of times in the tastings.
It's about this big.
It is hygienic
Sorry.
to press the grapes with the feet.
I think it's worth mentioning that if you're foot pressing, you're not just taking your shoes off and getting straight in. Most winemakers will clean their feet with like an iodine solution or something first.
Actually, it's like working with your hands.
Yeah, same idea. So they will make sure their feet, it's not like, oh, what a long day of work, feet off. But they will clean them a little bit beforehand. But this is so early on in the process.
Yeah. And there's going to be a fermentation.
And then you're going to have filtering, and then you're going to... Of course, if you've got a verruca or something, you don't think, oh well, you've got your clean feet. Like Rocky said, you clean your hands before you go to work, you can clean your feet first as well.
So
there's no feet smell.
Because I mean, it's a classic question. Right? I have had that question hundreds of times. Hundreds. Yeah, hundreds. Sometimes in the thousands. 35 times in the same tasting. Why? And
then you're just like, why don't you listen to me?
So,
well, should we talk about Campo de Borja?
When you mean Campo de Borja, you mean this?
No, I don't. I'm talking about the small region of Kazakhstan.
Well, Campo de Borja is that region that is located in the northwest of the province of Zaragoza, 60 kilometers from the capital. It's between the mountains of the Sistema Ibérico. We call it the slopes of the Moncayo,
which is where this one is. The Moncayo,
and the Ebro Valley. So you have
it's a perfect area for wine.
Yeah, you have like the Vera de Moncayo town, and also really small towns, not that famous. Probably Borja is the most famous one.
I was in the region a few years ago with my parents, and we went to the Veruela Monastery, which also has a nice sort of centre, the wine museum of Borja.
Yeah,
and it's flipping beautiful. The Moncayo Mountain.
It's beautiful. Yeah, all that area is beautiful. Well, the climate is continental type. It's quite extreme. Really cold winters, and hot and dry summers. It's one of the also one of the main. One of the main characteristics is the influence of a wind there. The Cierzo wind.
Cierzo. Which is, do you know why that's important?
It is important because it gives humidity, right?
Opposite.
The dry.
Yeah, it blows away all the moisture, which is very important. But it must be very windy there.
Yeah, it's a very. The humid one is not Cierzo. Cierzo is the dry north.
Yeah.
Northwesterly wind.
Very nice. Northwesterly, very
nice. Rain. It's quite scarce.
Yeah, it's not a very wet region.
And the soils are very, these limestones, brown, terrace.
Oh yeah,
soils.
I forgot. Yeah, there's the soil.
There you are. So we have these strong personality wines. That's the result. The allowed varieties, the white Macabeo, of course, Garnacha Blanca, Moscatel, Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Viognier, and Verdejo. Have you ever tried Verdejo?
I've had Verdejo from, obviously, Castilla and Rueda, and from León, but that's it. But then every time we do these tastings, you find like Oh, in Extremadura you can have verdejo. Okay.
Yeah.
In Campo de Borja you can have verdejo. Okay. But probably that's like a minority.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
the reds, of course, the majority, 75% is Garnacha.
Yeah.
But also you can find Merlot, Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon,
Syrah is
and
worth
the
it, wasn't
less known Caladoc and Marcellan.
Marcellan I've heard of. Caladoc I've never heard of. They must be French.
And well, the thing is that the reds are they have this good aromatic intensity, as you can check right now. Tasty, fruity, fleshy. How much is the production of this wine region? Look, Darkat.
I'm gonna say
In millions of liters. Rioja is 270 million.
I'm gonna say 45 million.
Okay, it's lower.
Yeah.
13.
Oh, it's much lower than I
It's
thought.
much lower. Which percentage goes abroad, goes to the international market?
I think a good amount because I've seen them in England. 35%. No.
70% goes abroad.
Oh, Christ.
70%. 70%.
What is happening in Spain? Their wines sell abroad and no one
That is
knows
a
about
lot of wine.
That is 8 million liters.
So I invite my friends from Michigan to go to the wine shops right now because probably they will find a wine from Campo de Borja.
And all of our fans in Slovenia and Slovakia and
and
Lithuania,
Uganda,
Uganda. I won't do the accent
you maybe have a chance with this wine.
because you can't find them here.
Yeah, it's
Very
true.
nice.
70% of those 13 milliliters of wine goes abroad.
Very good, well done. Now I want to talk about something briefly that was started in 2012. Not the London Olympics. This little stamp you'll find on the back of your wine, which is the first time we've had this and the only wine we have. Eco Pro Wine.
Yes, Eco Pro wine.
So
It is a new concept.
yeah,
right?
so on our tastings we have tried, well, we never have had natural, but we've talked about it. We have had biodynamic wine, we have had organic wine, but this is our first, what they call, sustainable wine. What could this possibly mean? So, very briefly, every part of the winemaking process is sustainable. So we're not, so it's not an organic wine as concerns.
No electric power, pressed by feed,
I mean, what more do you
sustainable. What is next? Woodstock.
What is? I bet they're all just smoking the ganja and not showering. So this is the thing. So when we talk about organic wine and bio wines, we're talking about agriculture. When we're talking about natural wine, we're talking about nothing is ever touched or added during the process. But that doesn't make it sustainable. Sustainable is like having a solar-powered winery and not using, much technology and electricity, or using your feet. This is brand new. I have not seen this on any other wines.
No, this is the first
we've
time I
got.
say it. Yeah.
So I don't know how many are involved with this. It is an EU concept. The idea was that the EU wants to reduce the impact of the European wine industry on the world because it's a big business here. And if you think about it, imagine every winery was using sort of heavy machinery. That's not good. So it's the idea kind of endorsed by the EU to try and, I think, reduce the winemakers' footprint, maybe. It's not about...
So it's like an evaluation.
Yeah. So it's not about, like how many...
benchmarking.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know, but maybe it also includes, like, try not to use too many fertilizers as well. But it's not just about how I'm making my wine, in that sense. And it's called Eco... I don't know why it's called Eco Pro Wine.
Pro Wine.
I don't think it's a very good name. Pro
Well,
Wine.
it sounds very Apple.
The Eye Wine by Prados de Moncayo. But yeah, so there's myriad sort of not regulations, stamps and seals of approval for different things. We've got vegan wine, we've got Demeter for bio wines, nothing for natural wines yet. This is another one on the list, but I quite like this one because it's like a big picture.
Yeah. Here I have the 6 goals pursued by the Eco Pro wine.
Okay. Eco Pro wine. Yeah.
Eco Pro wine is first of all to recognize a number of potential benefits for wineries, helping them to differentiate themselves from competitors and attracting the attention of conscious consumers.
Like us.
Number 2, it brings a number of potential benefits for wineries, helping them. No, I've already the same one. Sorry. Number 1, it recognizes and rewards wineries that are committed to the path towards environmental sustainability and that achieve predefined sustainability actions. It encourages, number 3, it encourages and facilitates the internationalization of products to other EU countries. 4, it helps consumers to recognize wine produced in a more sustainable way from an environmental, social, and economic point of view. Number 5, the study, analysis, and evaluation of procedures of the EcoPro wine methodology allows producers to have a clear vision of their actions. And number 6, increases the visibility of the winery.
Okay, I would disagree with the last one. I've only ever seen it on one bottle of wine, but okay.
Well, maybe it's the first of a long list.
Maybe. That's a lot of marketing BS, but the best thing was point 17, I think it was, which was the whole, it's telling the world this winery is being sustainable, which is important.
We have seen these seals in other kind of seals, weren't
Yeah, there's loads of
I remember
seals.
like Demeter.
Yeah, that's the bio one. Obviously vegan. There's that one. There's obviously the classic ecological one.
Of course, the ecological
There's
EU.
There's another one which is with a little fern leaf.
Yeah.
There's another organic style one, which is like un sello. It's like a Spanish one. It's like a little. I can't remember which wine has it. But there's lots of different organic-y ones.
Yeah.
I think it's on. Let me just double check. I think it's on Samina. Give me a second. Am I correct?
He's having a tough.
No, I'm not
tough
correct. I don't remember which one it was.
Tough time. He's not good.
I can hear you whispering.
He turned 34 last week, and he's in the crisis right now of the 34.
Well, that was maybe this one. No, God damn it. I don't know. Well, I've had a lovely mental breakdown just then. But there's another thing, which is like a Spanish organic wine thing as opposed to the EU wine one. So, does this make you want to buy the wine more? That's up to you. Does it make the wine good? No, not necessarily. But it kind of tells you a little bit, in this case, about the ethics of the winery. Unfiltered, naturally temperature controlled, climate controlled. Pressing the grapes without feet. Lovely. But that shows you kind of the methodology behind their wines.
Well, what do you think about the wine? Tell me about your plans, your summer plans. You're planning to go to your country, right?
I have been planning to go to my country for a long time. In theory, in July, I will hopefully go. But if Spain is still on the orange list...
You're going to leave me alone for 2 weeks?
I can't wait. Now that you're in the gym, you're here every bloody day.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to go home in July, but we'll see. Because currently Spain is an amber country. And I need you to be green, otherwise I will not go. And
how close we are of being green?
I have no idea. No idea. And I'm going to Granada for 2 days for Steve of this parish, Steve's 40th birthday.
No, really? It's going to be celebrated in Granada?
Yeah. So...
What an extravagant choice.
Yeah, his idea. Which means everyone has to take holiday, right? But I haven't been to Granada for 10 years, so that'd be fun. No, less than that, anyway. And that's it. I have no plans. I don't really make plans when we have this shop.
I went this weekend to Segovia, to Casa Rural, to
A rented holiday home, if you will.
in the middle of the countryside, very close to the mountain, and it's actually, it was like to be in Toscana, beautiful landscape, with these pines everywhere. Man, I wanna have a second house there.
It did look nice. I saw the photos of you and Danny. You had decorated your dogs with flowers.
Yeah.
It's quite funny, like hippie dogs. But yeah, I mean, so in Spain, for those of you who don't know, August is like, hello, hello, hello. And no one here. That's like the main summer month.
Yeah, for that reason, we have created a lot of new box for this summer. They are gonna be available during the whole summer. It's very good bargains.
The barbecue box.
Bubbles.
The bubbles box. The
swimming pool
party
yes.
box.
I mean, it's the survival kit.
The survival kit box for those
So
of you with children.
we have designed these new boxes for your summertime. So in case you need wine, maybe we have what you're looking for. So go to our website and have a look, because you will find really good.
And can I just say that our
and of
friend,
course, free shipping as always.
our friend to Spain. Don't send me a message from Portugal saying, "Oh, but you said all of the peninsula."
This is my dog, plenty of
Fanny,
flowers.
45 years old, doesn't shave her armpits. Summer of love. But yeah, so go and check out the website, because our man behind the scenes, Pablo, has also done a beautiful job on the artwork, and we're really proud of him and what he's done there. So yeah, well, what an amazing box May was.
Yes, and please leave us any message if you have any questions, doubts, complaints.
No complaints.
No complaints.
Please.
Or if you want to, if you want to write a poem to look, maybe the message box is a great place to leave it.
And we are always happy to receive inappropriate photos.
Especially if
any gender. We have all the bases covered. Well, not all the bases nowadays.
Well, nowadays there are more than 2. 69, the last time I counted.
I will take photos of 69s. What? Anyway, outrageous behaviour at the end of May. So we hope you enjoyed this box and these tastings for this month. We hope, if you have plans, because June is tomorrow, we hope you're going to have a fun summer of plans as well. I don't care what you're doing, but I would love to hear about it.
Thank you very much for being there.
And thank you to Prados de Moncayo for this amazing wine as well.
And I see you soon.
Cheers.